Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Well, all right. Welcome to another episode of ASAP in the morning. Got my boy Gonzo on this morning. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. I'm ready for a big basketball game tonight. I think the Warriors are going to close it out in 6. Hopefully my Reds can get back on their winning ways. They had a winning streak going on and got their asses kicked last night, but we'll forget about that one. Get ready for the next one.
Yeah, man. Well, if nothing else, man, the Reds are showing signs of life. So, yes. I mean, even if, whatever happens, I mean, they're not doing bad. So, I mean, I think there's some positives to look forward to going forward with the Reds, but they're gonna have to go through some changes. I mean, and they are kind of rebuilding. So, and it's better than laying. Honestly, I really had the Reds, kind of just tanking the rest of the season, but
yeah, at least they're competing. At least they're competing now. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting to me is, speaking of baseball, the Astros, I don't know if you saw that, but they threw 2 immaculate innings the other night, 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts for Luis Garcia and Matan, the reliever Matan. So the reliever and the starter both had an immaculate inning of 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. I mean, I don't think that's ever been done before.
No, I don't think it had either. If I'm right, I remember. I think I saw a graphic on TV last night that was saying that was the first time that had been done.
And that really has been the saving grace for the Astros. I mean, our hitting has been a little bit anemic, but our pitching staff has really just done a good job. And I think, if they can continue to pitch at the level they're pitching at least until the hitting, starts to step up, then, that will get us through. But obviously the hitting at some point is going to have to step up, because we're not going to be able to go against the Yankees toe-to-toe with, the type of hitting that we're actually doing. So, and that series is vastly approaching soon.
Yeah, the Astros would be even. But they got a good record now, but their record would be a lot better if they would have started the season off hitting the ball.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, they typically have at least, 2 to 3 hitters, actually I should say 3 to 4 hitters that are in the 300s batting average. But, obviously Carlos Correa is gone, and, Brantley's kind of been struggling. Blue. That was my ADT system. It's the best security dog ever, I'm telling you. But no, it's like Gurriel's been struggling. There's been a lot of struggling going on within the Astros hitting. They typically are 300 hitters. So yeah, I really hope these guys can really turn it around before we get to the Yankees series, because we got I believe it's a 4-game homestand or away stand. It's going to be in New York. Coming up in a matter of a week or so. And then we got June 30th, 1 game at Houston. So we got 5 games within the next couple of weeks against this hot Yankees team. And they're going to have to, get that hitting at some level going.
Well, if you look at it, Jay, I think the hitting for all of MLB is down. Because if you look at the teams batting average, like the Astros are hitting 238 as a team, and that's pretty close to about average through the league. Most of the leagues hitting like 235, 240, which is weird. You usually see more teams up closer to 250, 260 at least. And the Astros, like you said, their pitching staffs have been great. They're right at 3.00 team ERA. And that's a good team ERA.
Oh,
if they were just hitting, instead of hitting 238, was hitting 260, just think how many more games they would have won this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I'm kind of curious. Frankie. Obviously, he's a Yankees fan, so I'm kind of I really need to get this win. I need to. I don't care if we if we lose a game or so to them, but I want to win this series, like in the worst kind of way.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear it from Frankie if you guys don't.
Bro, I hear from Frankie every day about last year. Even though we went to the World Series, we did lose to the Yankees in the regular season series. So, yeah, man, I can't go through another episode of Frankie the Yankee talking smack, man. We got to get at least win this series. If nothing else, tie this series at worst case scenario. But just don't lose the series.
And look at this. The Yankees are one of the better teams in the league, and they're only hitting 249 as a team.
Yeah, and so that you know what? That's a good point you bring up, man. Honestly, that's actually a really good point. So, yeah, but typically the Yankees play the Astros. They do play the Astros really tough. So it's going to be interesting to see, how that transcends going into that 4-game series. I think we're going to be okay. I'm not terribly worried, but I am, as my wife says, mildly concerned. But no, hey, moving on. So, speaking of basketball, before we get into the NBA playoffs, I just want to kind of talk about this trade for a second. So the Astros sent Christian Wood. The Astros. I'm basketball, baseball, all jumbled. The Rockets sent Christian Wood to the Mavs in exchange for a handful of players and the number 26 pick in the draft. And my thing about it is, out of the handful of players they gave them, the only one that I really thought was halfway good was Trey Burke. So I really kind of figure, with Trey Burke and the 26th pick, that was really where the value was for Christian Wood. I'll say this, Christian Wood, a couple of things. Number one, Christian Wood's been kind of injury prone during his stint with the Rockets. A lot of people say, well, they could have got more for Christian. You know what? I don't think they do. Because of his injuries. I think that was probably the primal thing. But I like the trade because I feel like if they can package the 26 and if they package the 26 pick and the 3rd pick and go to number 1 and with Orlando, we still got the 17 pick as well. So I feel like they can get Chet Holmgren at 1. Because I think Orlando takes Chet if they don't make that trade. I think Chet goes number 1. But if they could grab Chet Holmgren at number 1, that's a defensive guy, and he spaces the floor nicely, he would space the floor nicely for Green and Kevin Porter Jr. To get better shot selections. And so I think he really would bring that type of element to the Rockets. And then he's got the number 17 pick. You can probably go after a power forward or a point, or a shooting guard, whatever's best available at that point. But I'm pretty sure at 17, you're still going to come away with a pretty good player. What do you think, Gonzo?
Yeah, I like the trade. Do you think that Boban that they'll keep Boban, or you think they'll end up trading him and using him in a different trade, maybe to get, like you're saying, get more picks? But I like Trey Burke. I think that he can be a decent player for Houston. So I like the trade.
Yeah.
To me, for Dallas, is Christian Wood the guy that you really needed? You know what I mean? That's what I think on my thing against the Mavericks. Is he going to be? I don't know if he's the guy that's going to help you get. I still think they need to do more to get to that next level. I don't think he's going to be the answer, the only answer to be able to help Doncic get past the Western Conference Finals with that team.
Well, the series with Golden State really came down to the lack of presence in the paint for the Mavs. I mean, Powell didn't really give them anything, and Kleber really didn't give them too much in the paint. So I think that's where Christian Wood is going to help Dallas. Is he's going to give them a presence in the paint so they don't have to live and die by the 3, which is kind of what really was killing them.
Yeah, I think he'll help Dallas. I just think they're still going to have to do more if they want to get to that next level.
Yeah, I think they definitely still need another player coming off the bench. And remember, Tim Hardaway Jr. was hurt. So I think if you get a healthy Hardaway Jr. back, that's going to give them another, player as well, right? So
yeah, that's a good point.
I think what's interesting to me is the whole Bradley Beal requesting a trade out of Washington. Or at least not sign. I think he's going to be a free agent, actually. So, him wanting to leave Washington, where does he go? I mean, there's a couple of I think, right off the bat, I think, like I said, I think Denver is a good landing spot for him primarily. I think with, was it? You have Jamal Murray, and then you had was it Michael? It's Michael Porter Jr., right?
Yep.
And I think with Michael Porter Jr. Being injured a lot, and the fact that Bradley Beal can play the small forward or the shooting guard, I think really helps them to the point where I think that Denver, you pair up Bradley Beal with the likes of a Murray, if Murray can stay healthy, and a Joker, now Denver's really looking nice. Yeah,
no, I think that'd be a great spot for him, and Joker definitely needs some help there as well. Out of these players that Houston got, do you think they'll keep all of them? Mo? Do you think Boban stays there? How do you feel about that?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. About the wife was giving me hand signals.
Out of the with this trade with Houston, do you think they'll keep them players that they got, like Burke and Boban, or you think they're going to try to use maybe other trade packages?
Oh no, I definitely think I can't speculate on who they think they want to keep, but I don't think they keep a lot of those players. I think a lot of those guys either A, get traded to somewhere else, or B, just get released. I don't think they carry that. They're not going to carry all those players. I can see them keeping a Burke, and I think out of that, definitely Burke. I don't know. I can't say that one guy's name, but he's a super tall dude, Boban or whatever his name is.
Boban. That's why I just call him Boban, because it's Marin or something like that.
But that dude, he's tall. He's got obviously got the height, but he never really gets used. I mean, he's just kind of taking space up on the bench. So I don't think they keep him. I don't think they keep a lot of those guys. I think Burke, in my opinion, would be the only one they really keep. And I don't think they need to keep all those guys. I think keep Burke, because really the value is not in those guys. The value is in that pick, right? So they can package it. In my opinion, I think they package it to try to get number one. That's what I think they do.
You think they're going to take Holmgren at one?
I hope they do, because we need that. We need Chet Holmgren, honestly. Like I said, for the fact that he spaces the floor, he's an elite defender. He can hit. He's got 39% from 3-point land. I mean, he does what you need him to do. The only downside to him, in my opinion, is the weight. I think he's at 195. He's at 6'11", 195. He needs to put on at least a little bit of weight to be able to handle the pressure of the other players down low. So that's really the only knock I kind of see on him. But I think that's something that can be addressed through nutrition and once he gets to professional ranks, I think he'll put on some weight.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about with him is his weight. Is he going to be able to take the physicality of the NBA? But I think once he gets there, they'll get him on a plan, and you'll see him put on some weight and put on some muscle, and I think he'll end up being fine.
Yeah. And again, Gridiron Yuki says, or not Gridiron Yuki, excuse me, Damon says he wants to go to Philly and talks about Bradley Beal. But the thing about that is if he goes to Philly, what are they going to do with Harden? And Harden is Daryl Morey's, that's his guy. Daryl Morey is in love with Harden. That's the reason why Harden is really there. So I don't know that he goes to Philly because they already have Harden, and I don't think Philly's going to take on the size of Bradley Beal's contract when you already have Harden there. So, I mean, he may want to go to Philly, but I don't think Philly pulls the plug on that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I will say this, man, it's going to be very, very interesting, I believe, at this year's NBA draft.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to the draft because the Pacers have we have number 6. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Pacers are going to do with the 6th pick. And then, there's going to be some trades. Like you said, Houston will probably trade up. There's always trades right around, especially the first 10 to 11 picks. So it'll be interesting to watch. I'm kind of thinking the Pacers might get that kid from Iowa, Murray.
You think they might get Murray?
Yeah, that's who I think they might go with at 6.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting I think to see that. But I gotta believe that there's going to be some trades in this draft. I think Houston is going to be one of those trades, but I have a feeling there's going to be at least one other trade in there because, in that top, I think maybe 14, 15 players, or really after that, then it kind of gets a little watered down. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a trade for somebody trying to bump up into that next level. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I can see the Pacers maybe doing some kind of trade too, because they're basically in a rebuild mode. So I could see them maybe trying to trade out of that 6th spot and maybe get some players that they think could help them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we turn our attention over to I love my wife. She's amazing. And then you turn your attention over to the Lakers. You turn your attention over to the Lakers. Here. God, I hate when people do. You turn your attention over to the Lakers, and they got that new, was it Darvin Ham as their coach. I kind of wonder if they're able to pull off any kind of magic in terms of trades. They don't have no draft capital, but they do have players that they could trade, i.e., it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I really believe that, AD, like we said, he's kind of a glass guy. He gets injury prone. If I'm the Lakers, man, I think I'm trading him, trying to get draft picks to move up into that draft and see if I can get somebody to come to that team that I can depend on. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do because I would think I thought they'd be trying to get rid of Westbrook, but I don't think anybody wants Westbrook because of that contract. So I think they're going to be basically stuck with Westbrook again this season and have to try to just worry about building up their bench to try to make that team better. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron doesn't leave LA maybe after this season.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man, and we'll see where we go from there. Moving on, real quick. I was gonna pull up. I want to kind of talk about. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. We'll get into the NBA Finals. Talking about game 6 now. I was talking to Pride last night, man, on Prideful Takes. It looks like these guys are looking at back-to-back. They're going to have to be back-to-back wins, which we have not seen that in this series. Now, Pride will tell you, and I love Pride, and I wish he was here so he could defend himself, but he's not. But, he made a point. They did get back-to-back wins against Brooklyn, but let's be honest, it's freaking Brooklyn. And then he'll tell you, well, KD got shut down, and he'll give you all the excuses for Brooklyn. But again, to me, it's a disorganized franchise, and they really, did not put up much of a fight against the Celtics. So I don't really look at that. But then he'll go on to tell you about Milwaukee. Now that's a little more legitimate, whatever. But they have not gotten back-to-back wins in this finals. It's been back and forth. The only one that's got back-to-back wins is Golden State. So I have a feeling, they're going to have to play an immaculate, and I mean immaculate, back-to-back games to the point where their turnovers, their lack of bench scoring, their points in the paint, those were the 3 areas in the last couple of games for Boston that has hurt them. And so they're going to have to be absolutely perfect in those 3 areas, and I just don't think they can do that back-to-back. What do you think, Gonzo?
Yeah, I don't think they can beat the Warriors back-to-back either. I think the Warriors will finish it out tonight, but Boston has played a heck of a playoffs, but people have to remember, you beat the Nets, swept them. I'll give you a lot of credit for that, but the Nets wasn't the team that we thought the Nets would be either. You have a Kyrie Irving that set out a lot of the season, so the Nets never got to build that chemistry together. You had Harden come, Harden leaves. You get a Ben Simmons who don't play. KD got hurt a little bit during that season, so the Nets probably shouldn't even have been that low of a seed if they would have been the team we thought they would have been. But the Celtics beat them, or swept them, so you have to give the Celtics a credit. But against the Bucks, I still believe that if the Bucks had Middleton, that the Bucks would be in the finals right now, not the Celtics. I think the Bucks losing Chris Middleton really affected that series a lot. So
It's funny. I said the exact same thing to Pride, and Pride he had all kinds of butthurt look on his face, like, how could you possibly say that, this, that, and the other? And I'm like, bro, come on, man, it's true. But Pride didn't like it when I said that if they had Middleton, he was like, oh, whatever, Jake. Blah, blah, blah. And he'll give you a soliloquy of all kinds of, you're uneducated, blah, blah, blah. But I believe that's true. Haven't had Middleton, yeah.
Yeah, that's their second best guy on their team, and he's gone. That's going to affect you. I mean, that'd be like the Warriors losing Klay Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean?
So, I think the Celtics are a little bit tired. I think they're a little bit fatigued. You have to remember during that their last series against the Heat, they were battling injuries. That was a tough series. The Warriors got to rest for about a week, where the Celtics didn't. And I just think that the fatigue is starting to catch up with the Celtics a little bit. And I think the Celtics blew their chance to win this series, or to have a chance to win this series, when they did not beat the Warriors, when Steph Curry only scored 15 points and didn't hit a 3-pointer. When Steph has a bad night, you have to win that game again. You have to beat the Warriors that night, or your chances are you're not going to win the series. You got to take advantage of when their best player has a bad shooting night, and they wasn't able to do that. And honestly, I think that even gave the Warriors a little more confidence. Like, hey, if we just play good team ball, we can beat this team. Steph don't have to go off every night if we just step up and help them. So, I think it's going to be over tonight. It wouldn't surprise. I mean, even if the Celtics win tonight, I think the Warriors finish it back at home in 7. But I don't think the Warriors want to mess around. I think they want to get it over with tonight and celebrate in Boston, and then go back home and celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back up, he said he heard somebody snuck into the arena trying to be Klay Thompson and got banned for life. Man, I didn't hear that. Did you hear anything like that?
I haven't heard that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, fans will do some crazy things.
Klay Thompson, that's a hard guy to try to pretend to be. I mean, that's blows my mind. Okay,
hey, I couldn't pretend to be any of them because I'm not 6'6". I'm not 6'6".
Hey, listen.
I woke up at 5'5", saying I'm an NBA player. They're gonna laugh at me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey, listen, I'm the same way. There's no way I'm a pass. And they said, who do the Warriors beat to get to the finals? Nobody. So saying the Celtics had it easy to get to the finals, you can say the same thing about the Warriors because they played beatable teams. Well, you know what? Let's be honest. I think Miami was
easy. I didn't say the Celtics had it easy. I just said that the Bucks wasn't at full strength. The Bucks were still a good team. I'm not saying the Celtics had it easy at all. Celtics had a tough road. I'm just saying that if the Bucks would have had Middleton, I believe that series would have been different.
Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know what? Hey, listen. I'm 5'9". I think Fitzy's probably around 6 feet. It's going to be very hard. I need a few more inches to get where Fitzy's at. But yeah, I agree. Hey, that would probably be the closest thing I could probably pull off. Celtics in 7. Damian says, nah, I don't. I mean, hey, listen, I'll take that bet every day of the week, man. If Celtics get it in 7, I mean, that's like the immaculate conception. I just think you're asking so much of that team. And you have a Jason Tatum, who I still say is not a superstar. I don't think he's a superstar. As a matter of fact, I think Brown has had more of an impressive series, to be honest with you, than Tatum. I think Brown has had a way better series. So, and he's the number 2 guy, supposedly. So, in my opinion, I think, and that's something that I think they're going to have to do to get, if they want to get this immaculate back-to-back wins, then Tatum is going to have to do more than what he's doing. Ron, what's up, buddy?
And here you go with immaculate conception again.
Man, if you guys didn't catch ASAP After Dark last night, man, you missed a great time.
Yep. Tune in at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah, man, we had a good time, man. Hey, Ron was on there, Tony was on there. Man, I'm pretty sure I'm probably banned off ASAP for life. But man, what a good time we had.
Very true.
He says, I think the Celtics deserve it more than the Warriors. Man, come on. What, Ron? So Guerin Yuki says he has the Celtics in 7, and he thinks the Celtics deserve it more than the Warriors. How do you feel?
Why do the Celtics deserve it more? How can you deserve it more? Everybody's going after a championship, but how do they deserve it? You compete for it. It ain't handed to you.
They definitely don't deserve it. I'm pretty sure they are the franchise with the most NBA championships already. So I would definitely say another team deserved it. I guess saying that their run that they had to go through this year was hard or difficult or something. I don't know. It's not like the Celtics started the year off amazing. They were a laughing stock for the beginning of the season. So why did they deserve it? What did they go through? I don't know, Jay. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
and to be honest, you're right. I mean, literally, the Celtics, I mean, they were in a rough spot, and they pulled themselves out of it, and now they're in the finals. So I'm not going to say they don't deserve it. They do. They deserve it. But, I mean, to say they deserve it more than the Warriors, because look what the Warriors – I mean, the Warriors played the majority of the season banged up. I mean, let's be honest. Since they got into the playoffs, that was the first time that the whole team was clicking on all cylinders and having everybody back from injuries. So I think both teams in their own right deserve it. Now, I do think that, again, Tatum is going to have to do more than what Tatum is doing if they want to do those back-to-back wins. They're not going to get it the way they're currently playing. Like I said the other night, Ron, I know you got to agree with that. Bench, scoring, turnovers, points in the paint. Those are things that the Celtics have got to clean up if they want to have a chance at a back-to-back win,
Exactly.
He said, what do I know about superstar? Let me tell you something, man. We're in rebuild mode. Of course, we don't have a team superstar.
For the Celtics to win back-to-back games, Tatum and Brown are both going to have to go off and have real good games, and they're going to have to cut their turnovers down to like under 10 or 11. You can't have 16 to 20 turnovers. If they can cut their turnovers down, but then, like I said, Tatum and Brown are both going to have great games both games for them to
that's the thing about Celtics. They all have to games for them to win.
Yep, that's true too.
He said, "I'm tired of the fake Warrior fans." Hey, I hear you, brother. Yeah, man, what a time to be alive, man. Tonight's going to be really, really exciting because if the Celtics win or the Celtics lose tonight, obviously then Golden State wins the finals, and that means Pride will have to shave his head. And God, am I looking forward to seeing a ball Pride? That's going to be amazing.
He is not going to shave his head.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it on unscripted?
No, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Yeah, I believe he will. I think Pride's a man of his word.
Hey Jay, we're going to do it live and unscripted.
So what was the bet?
That might be a good idea.
What was the bet?
So the bet is if the Celtics win, he's going to braid his hair, and if the Celtics lose, then he's going to shave his head. So
wow,
we will see. Yeah. I really tried to work the whole beard thing in. I really want him to shave the beard too, but apparently he says it didn't happen. He gave me a short mini clip, and of course in the mini clip you don't hear it. But if you go past that mini clip, there is a conversation about him shaving the beard. So and he didn't put that in the clip. I thought that was interesting that he selected to omit that. But it is what it is. It's okay if he shaves. I'm okay if he just shaves the damn head. I want to see a bald Price, so I'm okay with that too. It's all good. But yeah, man.
For bald Pride, what a crazy bet.
Live on unscripted. And his beard, maybe his eyebrows. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I don't know if it does eyebrows, but I would definitely pay to see him shave the beard and the head. That would be pretty awesome. Real quick, I'm not a whole lot into the hockey thing. I'm still trying to wrap my head into it, and I didn't get to catch it last night. But I did see where Colorado beat Tampa Bay 4-3, and I think at one point it was 3-1, and then Tampa got it to 3-3, and of course then the Avs got the game winner and made it 4-3. If you know anything about the Lightning, they went down, I think it was 0-2 to the Rangers, and then of course they mounted one hell of a comeback after in games 3 and on. So I'm not overly concerned about Tampa Bay losing to Colorado, but this Colorado team is pretty damn good. So it's going to be a little harder for them to try to make that comeback. Gonzo, what do you think about Tampa, and can they still overcome?
I think it's going to be. I think this game or this series is going to go 7 games. I have the Avalanche winning in 7. But I think it's going to be a real good series. And last night's game, if you watched any of it, was a great game. Ended up going in overtime. It was a great way to kick off the Stanley Cup Finals. But I think the Tampa Bay Lightning will be all right. I think they'll get back in. I think they'll get back in the series. They need to try to at least split the home here. But I had the Avalanche winning. The Avalanche's offense is just so deadly, and they have a lot of speed on that team. So I think the Avalanche win the series, but I could see this series going 7 games.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Minka here in a minute after we get done with this conversation. Ron, I don't know, man. Do you follow hockey at all, or I don't know? Is that in your wheelhouse?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in this series. Isn't the Lightning about to approach a three-peat though?
Yeah, that's the big thing right now is they're trying to get a three-peat, and I mean, honestly, that's a really hard damn thing to do in hockey. I'm a Dallas Stars fan, but I'm really pulling for Tampa because I would like to see Tampa accomplish that feat. I think that'd be really, it'd be really neat to see.
That's what I'm rooting for. And Jay, like you say, you're not a dynasty if you don't leave.
I'm just, yeah, man. I just love seeing anything that has history making type stuff. I just think that's to me, it's awesome. Well, yeah. So the Lightning lost it. Like Gonzo said, it was an overtime loss. So I think it's going to be a very hard fought series. I think, like Gonzo said, I think it does go 7. So we'll see going forward how that transpires. Turn it over real quick to the Minka Fitzpatrick. What was it? I believe it was 4 years, a little over $18 million, makes him the highest paid safety in the NFL. Does he deserve it? Is what Gridiron Yuki is asking. I think he does, man. The only thing that he's missing right now on his resume, and me and Pride talked about that, was he hasn't gotten any sacks yet in his career. So I would like to see him get some sacks just to kind of round out that resume. But, man, look, for the time that he's been in the league, and especially on a very – I don't want to say, that they have a terrible defense in Pittsburgh, but it's not exactly all the best. I mean, you got T.J. Watt, no doubt, but really T.J. and Minka are the ones that make up that defense. And so, and there's not a lot of safeties out there that are better than Minka right now. So I think they had to pay him. And like you said, with inflation and everything going up, they're going to always try to get that next level contract, the big contract at their position. We just saw that with Aaron Darnold as well. And of course, Aaron Donald definitely deserved that contract extension. But I think Minka deserves it. What do you guys think, Chris?
Ain't it kind of
go ahead,
my
Ron.
bad, Chris. I just had
Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, ain't it hard for Minka to get sacks with T.J. Watt's out there gobbling them all up?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I agree, man. Hey, TJ, man, what a beast that guy is. Honestly, just a beast, man.
Second best player in the NFL.
Yeah. And I really think, man, geez, man, it's such a sad thing for JJ. Had JJ could have avoided those injuries, man, God, man, he could have been so much more than what he was. And JJ has had a hell of a fight career, but man, injuries really just him so bad.
Yeah, he was about to burst through the LT ceiling. He had a couple of years where it was just wow.
Bro, I'm serious. Hey, when JJ was 100% healthy before the injuries hit him, he was looking ferocious. Honestly, just ferocious.
JJ
but then
SWAT.
The injuries just got him and took him down, man. And it's hard to recover once you've had back issues and knee issues, especially at the way he plays. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me?
We kind of just jumped over Chris's thoughts.
Oh, shoot, we did. Damn, I'm sorry. Well, you know what, Chris? That was Ron's fault. He's such an a-hole.
I basically agree with you guys anyway. I think he deserves it. I mean, he's been a first-team All-Pro consecutive years during his career. He's led the league in tackles before. He's their backbone of that defense, really. Like you said, you have TJ up front, but he's the guy that takes care of the back end of the defense. I think Pittsburgh was smart keeping him there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were smart when they stole him from Miami.
Yep. And look, when he came in from Miami, look at the difference he made on that defense.
Impeccable.
It's interesting. It's interesting. So Gridiron Yuki says, does he deserve it? Let me ask you this question. And I'm switching gears, but I'm still saying in the NFL. Lamar Jackson is up for contract. And, of course, the rumors are that he's going to be the highest paid player in the NFL. I got to be honest with you, and I know that's because that's just the trend of quarterbacks, right? Every quarterback that's out there that's got worth of salt, is going to get the next big thing. So, Lamar Jackson, he'll be if he gets paid more than, let's say, Aaron Rodgers is getting, which is like $50 million, I think, a year. I get why they're doing it because he is the best quarterback of it. They don't want to lose him because there's really nobody out there for them to go get. So they're going to try to retain him, and he does have skill sets. But does Lamar Jackson?
Stop it, Jay.
Does Lamar Jackson deserve that money?
Stop it. Of course, the best quarterback in the NFL deserves his dang money, Jay. I can't believe what you just did.
So you think Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL?
It's hard to argue the opposite. How many MVPs does our guy in Buffalo got?
Okay, so you're going to take Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen.
Yes. How many MVPs does Herbert got? Many MVPs does these young and upcoming guys got? None. Lamar Jackson transcended that ceiling, won an MVP in his dang second year. He struggled with injuries all last year. But at his highest, we saw him dancing on Mahomes and doing front flips into the end zone. I just don't want people to forget how good Lamar Jackson, just because the Ravens had it down here.
Gonzo, what's your thought process on Lamar?
If I was a GM, I wouldn't make him the highest paid quarterback in the league. I think he's a good player, good quarterback. But I think you could be putting your team in a tough situation if you pay him that much. I think he'll get it because they're not going to want to lose him. And
my debate is?
He's not going to take less than what the last quarterback took. So he'll end up being the highest paid. But I just don't know. I don't know if that's the right move. But you got to keep him.
Gonzo, you said.
Go ahead, Ron.
I said, Gonzo, you said you wouldn't make him the highest paid quarterback if you were the GM because you have to put so much around him.
Not so much around him. I want to see him improve as a passer before I'd give him that much money. He's getting better, but I don't know. You're right, though. I don't know if he's had the right receivers around him either.
Right.
I just haven't seen him
Baltimore
throw the ball at that level yet.
Baltimore gave him absolutely no weapons, nothing. And watch him come out and just ball this year. Same numbers, same stats, still doing whatever he wants.
I don't know. I tend to lend. I like what Gonzo is saying because I've always thought that Lamar Jackson is very one-dimensional. I don't think his passing game is really all that great. And he's had people there. It's not like he's at nobody. He had what Hollywood Brown. I mean, he's had a couple of guys. I just think he's very one-dimensional. And let's be honest, if we're gonna go down the MVP route, well, how many Super Bowls does he have? Because last time I checked, Patrick Mahomes has one. Aaron Rodgers has one, and Aaron Rodgers has nobody to really throw to.
But we're talking really about the young guys. That's the only thing Mahomes has over him is the Super Bowl. Nobody else has anything over him. That's the trump card. That's the big joker if we're going to bring up Lamar versus Mahomes. But all these other young guys, stop it, guys. They're not on Lamar's level. The Josh.
Yeah,
Herbert,
I just think if I'm the
world.
Ravens, if I'm the Ravens, I mean, they're going to have to pay him. They're not going. They can't let him walk because, like I said, there's nobody out there that they could bring in. There's just nobody. Even in the draft, there was nobody. So they're going to have to pay Lamar. I just feel like I just don't think he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. I don't think he's the best. Matter of fact, if you ask Pride or ask anybody to name their top 10 quarterbacks in the league, I guarantee you Lamar Jackson's not sitting at number one.
And that's blasphemy. That's ridiculous.
I guarantee you Lamar Jackson's not sitting at one.
And that's why I'm happy to be on this Lamar Jackson bandwagon, because y'all will be proved wrong, just like it was before. I got the Baltimore Ravens being the best team out the AFC, led by Mr. Lamar Jackson this year. So we can put some tax to the grass, sir. What's up?
Hey, switching gears, and let's talk about quarterbacks who don't have contracts yet. Kyler Murray, like they said earlier, Kyler Murray's another quarterback out there that doesn't have a contract as of yet. They're hoping that they'll get a contract by training camp. But again, what do you think Kyler Murray's worth?
I wouldn't make Kyler Murray one of the highest paid quarterbacks either. He's not been consistent enough. We've seen some high points, but we've seen more of the lower points than we have that super high. I honestly think he's going to be going to play baseball here real soon. But I've been saying that since he got drafted. I've been saying since he got drafted, he was just going to play one contract in the NFL, then go play baseball. So I think he'll be leaving the NFL soon. But I wouldn't make him one of the highest paid quarterbacks. Not yet. He hasn't proven that he can play at that high level consistently.
Yeah, Ron, what do you think about Kyler Murray, man? Do you think he's going to also get the big contract that he's looking for?
Does he deserve it? No. But if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm giving this man his money yesterday. You don't play around. Yeah, you don't play around with transitional talent.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest fear. My bad. That's the biggest fear is him going to play baseball. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm trying to treat him like the new coming prince.
I think he got drafted by the A's, didn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
You really want to go play for the freaking A's? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, if that
goes to play
right.
baseball, he needs to go be a Yankee.
Man.
No.
He just needs to do it all the way.
Hey, I could see him playing shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. If your thought process is to leave the NFL because maybe you don't like your contract or whatever, to go play for the A's who pay their people nothing, well, good luck with that. good luck with that. I'm just saying. He's what Damien is.
Star quarterback money is better than baseball money.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, Dak's in training camp. He's lost some weight.
Oh my gosh, man!
I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl. I never said that. But I do think, I'm waiting to see what the jury looks like because this is his second year coming off that ankle injury that he had that took him out for the whole year. So I'm curious to see what Dak does this year, man. Again, when it comes to Dak Prescott, I know he's going to do okay in the regular season. I just want to see what he does when he gets to the postseason because that's where Dak has always struggled is in the postseason. So, before I can get on any –
lucky if they get there this year.
I got to be honest with you, man. Listen, I'm a realistic individual, and I know that the Eagles have upgraded and the Cowboys have stayed stagnant, if not lost a few key pieces. So, I don't know if we get to the division. I still kind of think the Eagles will probably nab the division. But I think if we can get a wild card and work our way into a wild card, then, we'll see what happens from there. But again, Dak has got to play in the postseason. He can't, he just can't be a regular season guy. Yeah, Golden Tate went from football to baseball. Yes, but Golden Tate's career in the NFL was done. So I guess he's going to try to see what he can exhaust out of baseball. So that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and then Lamar wouldn't work with any team. Again, I mean, he's very one-dimensional kind of guy. So I don't know, man. I'm just not fully – I know Ron's on the Lamar bandwagon, but I just can't get on it with him. I can't get on it, man.
You can't explain to me how you put Lamar Jackson in Andy Reid's system with Kansas City and it doesn't work. That just doesn't make sense. It's electric. It's the same thing Mahomes was able to do. It's about driving a Lamborghini. Right now, he has to drive a Ford Escort. If you put him in McVay's system, with Cooper Kupp and Odell and all them running backs, Lamar Jackson doesn't work. Come on, guys.
Hey, listen. I think you put him in McVay's system, and I think Cooper Kupp's numbers and all the other receivers' numbers go down. To be honest with you,
that's very understandable. Most likely will, because we look at it as a liability that he doesn't pass as much. He's more of a runner, but it's kind of like Superman. What does he use? His speed and his eye beams. Does he have a whole lot of other powers?
Yeah.
But he uses his strength. Can't be mad at him. Hopefully he has a better transition than Cam Newton.
Man, hey, speaking of Cam,
because he's not always going to be able to use his body.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Cam Newton is if he's delusional or if he's speaking truth. So I'm gonna kind of get you guys a opinion. Y'all can tell me if he's speaking truth or if he's delusional. Cam Newton still says he's one of 32 NFL quarterbacks that's best in the league. So Cam Newton still thinks he's top 32. He says that the whole thing with the Patriots, he kind of put himself in a bad situation. He said basically that he did not really know the system as well as he should have. He said week 7, week 8, he's still learning the system. He said he went to the line and he knew the play, but he didn't know the play to Cam Newton standards. He just knew the play at a regular standard. So he feels like, he didn't get a fair shake, and he takes accountability for putting himself there. But he says that was the issue with New England and why he didn't perform as well as he should have. When it comes to the Panthers, he said he signed on Thursday, played on Sunday, and felt like he just, was thrown into a situation where he was not prepared. And that's why both of those situations failed for him. He still thinks he can compete at a high level. What do you guys think?
Personally, I don't think he's a starter in the NFL anymore. I don't think his shoulder's right, because you would see him in New England at times go to throw the ball and there would be nothing on it, and it would bounce in front of like a 15-yard pass and bounce in front of the receiver. It just looked like sometimes when he went back to throw, something wasn't right in that shoulder after that surgery. But with what he's done at his last couple destinations, he hasn't really, to me, proved that he's still a starter. And unfortunately, I don't think many teams will take him on as a backup because they're afraid it'll be a distraction. But I wish he was right, because I think he had the ability to be one of the top quarterbacks. But I just think the injuries have caught up with him, and his shoulder just hasn't looked right at the last couple places he's played.
Nathaniel, you're almost bordering Damian Hernandez when you say this. He says he thinks the Broncos are more likely to win the AFC West than the Cowboys will win the NFC East. By the way, I see Denver finishing third in the AFC West. Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you that. And I'm glad you made that second part of that statement, because you were about to get roasted. Okay, and so if you believe that they're going to finish third in the West, and you got Herbert and the Chargers, and you got Mahomes and the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure that the Cowboys have a better chance at winning the East than you would ever have at winning the West. And that's why I think you're smoking some crack cocaine over there, even though I know you don't smoke crack cocaine. What do you guys think about that statement that Nathaniel made?
Man. Denver might get third in the AFC West. But But you got to remember, you have the Raiders in that division too with Derek Carr, and the Raiders are going to be. I think the Raiders are going to be a good team. AFC West is going to be fun to watch this year because you got four good quarterbacks and four teams that I think are going to be real competitive.
I got a hot take. Chiefs finish last.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. You said you have a hot take?
Did you say Chiefs finish last?
Yes, sir.
Well, I thought he said. He said the Chiefs are going to be last in the division, Jay.
That's interesting.
Ron, who do you have winning that division?
Josh Herbert should be ready to finally step up and take over the division. He officially has the best weapons. The Raiders are very close, of course, but the Raiders are new. The Chargers are a well-oiled passing machine.
And they improved their defense as well. So,
right.
Yeah,
they
can see that. They
solidified the defense with Khalil Mack, and we thought they were going to take over the division last year. The Chiefs are, of course, a downgrade because they lost their weapon. And the Raiders should be second in the division because they were a playoff team last year. They showed us what they can do, and all they did was get better on offense and defense. Now, the Broncos, of course, got a Super Bowl quarterback from Russell Wilson, but it's new. It's new. So I like them at third.
Let me ask you this, Ron. So Gridiron thinks that, and I thought Damon Hernandez was off the rails, and then I kind of thought, Nathaniel kind of followed him down that path as well. But now I got Gridiron Yuki saying that Denver's going to be number one in that division, and they're going to go 17-0. How misguided is that statement? Or is he just pulling my leg?
You got a haircut. You got a haircut.
Who, me?
Sorry, guys. No, I was talking to somebody. My bad.
Oh, man, that was left field. But okay, squirrel, son of a bitch, squirrel. Shit.
I don't know. I don't see Broncos going 17-0. I could see Broncos. I think Broncos are going to be better with Russell Wilson, but 17-0. But I do see the Chargers maybe taking over that division. I don't know if the Chiefs go all the way down to last. But I do think the Chargers have a great chance of winning that division.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you have a good defense.
Second, Gonzo?
Yeah, I'd probably have the Chiefs in second, and probably man, I don't know. It'd be between the Chiefs and the Raiders at second. But I do like the Broncos at third. That's a hard division to pick. But I do like the Chargers to win that division because of the improvements that they made on both sides of the ball. They got some weapons for Herbert, and they got better on defense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like you said, I'm very excited.
Why do so many people say that Carr is trash?
Man, listen, that's Damon Hernandez. You can't take that seriously. Just let that one go. Honestly, let it go. I put it up there because, hey, I want to be respectful, but at the same time, let it go. Because we know Carr's not trash. We know Carr's not trash. But matter of fact, I kind of think Carr might be better than Lamar.
Wow.
Marinate on that one for a little bit, Ron. Marinate. Let it soak in for a little bit. And they'll put it on the grill, and then we'll –
my mouth.
I'm just saying. I think he's better than Lamar. Because I think Carr is not a one-dimensional guy. I think Carr has the ability to run, or at least scramble. I mean, he's not going to be no elite runner, but he can run. He's mobile. He's a mobile guy, and he can throw the rock. And he's accurate. And I think you're going to see that with Devontae and how far the Raiders go. I'm just saying.
So where do you have him to finish in the division?
What's that?
I said, so where do you have them finishing at in the division?
Yeah, that's a good question, man.
Quarterback. You might as well say Derek Carr is going to be the MVP if he's better than Lamar Jackson.
You know what I've said about the AFC West is I think you're going to get one divisional winner, and I think you're going to have 3 wild cards. And I think the wild cards come out of the West. I can see them all having amazing records and taking those 3 wild card spots.
Then that means you don't have. That means you don't have Miami, the Colts, or the Titans. One of those guys missing the playoffs.
No, to be honest with you, I think the Titans win that division. So you're more like looking at the Colts. Even though I know Chris Gonzalez, he's going to hate hearing me saying that.
No. Colts will win that division this year.
Hey, I just like saying that because I know Chris. Hey, I know Chris. Look, you got to understand. He's a Pacers. He's a what is it? Pacers, Reds, and Colts fan. And one out of the three makes him happy, and the other two make him depressed. So I don't want to. I just said it to kind of ruffle his feathers a little bit because I know the Colts are the one bright spot in his life.
Yikes.
So the other day I was looking at quarterback rankings, and they had Tannehill top 15. No, Tannehill is not. I don't think he's top 15. Anybody got Tannehill in the top 15? Maybe he is. What do you think?
No.
I don't know.
And I'm assuming he's saying like active, like current players, not like he's
had one
in the
good
history of
year.
the game.
He had one good year with Tennessee, and then they gave him all that money, and he hasn't showed up in the playoffs at all.
I don't know, guys. Hey, is the 49ers, you think they make it back to the playoffs?
I think I do.
I think you have to
I think
consider
Jimmy G's going to be their quarterback.
They will because the NFC is so weak, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. God, what a time to be alive. I can't wait till football season starts, man. It's going to be very rough for me as a Cowboys fan because, like I said, we did not upgrade. We stayed status quo. We actually lost a couple of, in my opinion, key pieces. So, man, I think football for me is going to be a little rough. I'm going to feel like Gonzo feels when he watches the Reds, I think, but it's okay. It is what it is.
I think the Colts have made improvements. The only thing that worries me is we went with another old quarterback getting Matt Ryan. So that's the only thing that worries me about the Colts. We've improved our defense some. We already had a good defense. Our receiving core worries me a little bit, but the quarterback position is what worries me the most because we have a strong defense and we still have Jonathan Taylor running that rock.
Well, Gonzo, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
How interested would you be in bringing Andrew Luck back? Because he's the guy that effed you guys in the first place.
That's true. He really did. He really gave me the big F-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
He gave me both middle fingers and the middle pinky toe. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, right before the season started, too, like 2 weeks before. That was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, bro. Like, when he did that, it really – I was really upset with him for doing that. I felt like, how are you going to do that to a team right before this? I mean, to me, that's bullshit. If you're going to do something like that, either wait till the end of the season and wait till the end of this – whatever that season and let them know right off the jump so that way when they go to the draft – or let them know before the draft, so that way they can draft somebody as your replacement or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
Well, he can be redeemed. He can be redeemed. He's not doing nothing but sitting around being a dad right now. I've heard a couple people say, why not come back?
I'd like to see him come back, but I've seen some photos of him, dude, and he looks small. I mean, he looks small. You can tell he ain't been working out. No, it don't look like he's been working out anymore. He looks small compared to what he used to.
Yeah. It'd be a great.
I think he had the ability to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and the Colts didn't protect him, and then he decided to retire 2 weeks before the next season, where I thought we was going to have a real good team then, and the Colts just haven't been able to find a quarterback since. But we keep going after old guys instead of trying to go after a younger guy.
Fellas.
I don't know.
Last thing I'm going to ask you guys, and I got to get out of here. I got to go to an appointment. But, hey, last question I got for you is this. And Gonzo, I would like to get your opinion because I know this is your guy. And, Ron, I'd like to get your opinion because I know I think you're gonna like the question. Jonathan Taylor and Travis Henry, who do you think has the better year upcoming?
Who was it?
Henry from the Titans and Taylor from the Colts. Who do you think? Which running back do you think has a better year?
Man, that's a tough question. Of course, I'm gonna go with Taylor because he's on the Colts. But no, I think Taylor could have more yards because Derrick Henry has to stay healthy. I think Taylor will stay healthy, and I think the Colts are going to have to lean on that running game, which the Titans always do. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with Taylor just because I think he has the. I think Henry might have trouble staying healthy. Unfortunately, I mean hasn't been kind of injury prone in his past, but he's still.
Yeah, there really is a knock on him is injuries. Ron, if Henry's able to stay healthy, does Jonathan Taylor still have the better season?
No, it's going to be Taylor, because if Henry stays healthy and has another good season, he's literally going to have to start being considered the all-time GOAT running back, what he's been able to do. But he should be shot. There's just no way we see the Derrick Henry that we used to know.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, it is my time to get up on here. I got to get to this dental appointment. Oh, God, I hate pain. Final thoughts real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Ron, final thoughts.
Golden State finishes up tonight. Steph goes off. The last time he missed all his three-pointers, he came back the next game and made 13. It's going to be a Steph show.
Yeah, I agree. Chris, final thoughts, brother.
I agree. I think the Warriors finish it off, and I think Steph's going to have probably 35 points tonight. And if you're a sports fan, there's a lot on TV today. You got the U.S. Open and golf starts today. A lot of baseball games, and of course NBA Finals tonight. So, if you like sports, today's a good day to sit back and watch some.
Absolutely. I got my final thought. I'm going big screen because I want Pride to really hear me when I say this. Pride. And Frankie, I know you're the hell of an instigator. So even though I know if Pride doesn't hear this, Frankie, I want you to go on Pride's messenger page, DM him, whatever. Let him know that I put it out there. That when the Celtics lose the finals, he needs to get a pair of clippers, come on Unscripted, and I want to watch him get his head shaved. I think he owes us that. I think he owes the podcasting world that. I'm just putting that out there. Hey, Pride, the gauntlet has been thrown down. You will shave your head on Unscripted when they lose. And, yeah, man, with that being said, folks, this has been ASAP Morning Show. And we will be back tomorrow at same time, 10 Eastern, with a recap of the finals at Game 6 and more sporting news. And until next time, it's Ron Gonzo, your boy Jay McLovin, saying see y'all guys later. Have a good night or day.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so